Sunflower Soul Studios is providing this podcast as a public service and for educational purposes only. It is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of Sunflower Soul Studios policy. The MissUnderstood podcast does not constitute advice or services. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by the Sunflower Soul Studios.
Hi y'all, I'm Serena Brown.
And I'm Deshauna. Thank you for joining us here today. Today we have a special guest that we're going to be introducing. I'm so excited. If you are new here, welcome. If you are joining us again, thank you for joining us. And make sure that you definitely have subscribed if you have not. The newbies, make sure you subscribe as well. So yeah, we have a special guest today, Miss Mariah Strong. I'm excited. Not only is she my family member, she's a cousin, but she is a beautiful soul. She's an amazing person. She also loves God and God loves her. And I'm so thankful that she was able to join us here today, and I can't wait to get today started.
Yes.
All right, let's introduce Miss Mariah.
Welcome. Glad you made it.
Thank you. All right. So Mariah, thank you for joining us here today.
You're welcome.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. Could you please give us, or give everyone, because I already know a little bit, but give us some information about yourself and what it is that you do.
My name is Mariah Strong. That is also my rapper name. I am a rapper, and I have a clothing line, and the most important thing you need to know about me is I love Jesus.
Amen.
Amen. Yes. Don't we all?
Yes.
So when did you fall in love with music?
I would have to say I've always loved music. As me and Deshauna knows, my father did a little bit of music. We won't talk too much about that. But
So many stories.
yes, I've always loved music since a child.
Okay. So what did you used to listen to when you were younger versus like what do you listen to now?
I listen to everything, and I still listen to everything.
Okay.
That goes country, rock, hip hop, everything.
Yes, I love it.
Probably not some opera, I guess, but
I
everything
love
else.
opera. You know what? I've been to the Phantom of the Opera play before. It was nice. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about your music and your clothing line. Like when did you start it? Why did you start it?
So I started my clothing line. Actually, I was still in the military when I thought about this clothing line, and I made the logo when I was in the military. I got out of the military in 2016. So it was just a thought process this entire time. And probably, of course, around COVID is when everything was set in stone. And I made this clothing line specifically for the younger generation, so that they know you can look cool and worship Jesus at the same time. So I moved to Oklahoma, and I wanted, when I dropped some new gear for my clothing line, I wanted to have like a little commercial with it. So I ended up doing a song, and that's when I started doing music.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So like one thing kind of led to another, just all
Exactly.
tied together.
Exactly.
Wow, that's awesome. So how do you describe your type of music?
Honestly, it's kind of changing right now. As you can see, I said I was a rapper. I didn't say I was a Christian rapper, but I am a Christian who is a rapper. I would like to stop the label of it all because it puts a stereotype on it immediately. And so if I say I'm a Christian rapper, people will be like, oh, that's whack. You didn't even hear it yet.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's good, y'all. I love it. She'll be performing one of her songs at the end of this episode, so make sure you stay tuned too.
Yes. So, of course, at the beginning of this, I was just Jesus, 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 and that's okay. I'll say Jesus 1,000 times, but I'm trying to be more open to everyone else. I want my music to be for people who don't believe in God, because I need to draw them in. So it's no point in trying to save the saved. They're already saved. So why not reach out to the rest of the world?
Yeah, I believe that's the perfect way to do it because even in the Bible, Jesus, he was out there with the sinners. He wasn't in the church, and that's how you really reach people.
Amen.
So I love that.
Yeah. So, Mariah, you do a lot of traveling. Where have you had the most fun at, and where have you not had the most fun? Like something.
The most fun would definitely have to be here, of course, at Murray Hill Theater, because my family lives in Jacksonville, Florida. So I have to say that was the most fun, and to see I feel like people saw another side of me, specifically my family, and I like that. And I would have to say the worst would be Georgia in Atlanta. Her name is Carisha the Diva. Nothing towards her show, it was just not my type of thing.
Okay.
So I didn't feel awkward or anything, but I felt like people might have wanted more from questions, and it's not me for you to ask me some hot seat type of questions. So that would have to be my
Was that
reason.
like a podcast or what kind of show was that?
Like a talk show
Oh,
type
talk show.
thing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're gonna start kind of like digging a little deep here. So I know that you are one that doesn't like labels. I myself am one of those type of things. Or people I don't like labels as well. But I just wanted you to be able to give your side of things. What do you like to identify as an individual?
Are we talking pronouns?
Yes.
No offense to anyone, but I don't even really understand the pronoun thing. So I'm just Mariah, that girl. The norm.
Yes. I wanted to ask also, when did you learn that you started to be attracted to women?
In elementary school, kindergarten.
Wow.
Listen, I've known me, Mariah, my mom and her dad are siblings, so we grew up together, sometimes in the same household. And so when I say Mariah has been saying that it's been since kindergarten, I knew what it was. I knew she was not like me and her sister before we even knew what the word was. I just knew that she was not, she likes the other side. I didn't know what that word was, but I just knew.
So did you know, excuse me.
No, go ahead.
So did you know, you didn't know what it was? Are you saying that you knew that looking back, that's when it was? Like looking back as an adult, you say?
No, I knew then.
Okay.
I definitely knew then. Honestly, I was on the way here, I was like, man, I should have performed this specific song because I have a song where I'm literally talking about that whole journey of being gay.
Yeah.
So when it happened, yes, I did know at that moment. Yeah, and I told myself I would be a nun. I thought I would be a nun.
Oh.
Then I grew up and life happened.
Okay.
It's kind of hard. Okay.
Yeah.
But from that moment on is my journey with being gay and knowing God, because I was like, I really just want to please God at this young age in kindergarten. So when I don't really get bashed for anything, but when I see other people getting bashed, whether they're gay, trans, or whatever, and I have to say, it is a difference being gay and trans. And I hope I don't offend anyone, but it's a big difference. But I'm not judging any part of, these categories.
Right.
But so I knew then, and I just knew I wanted to please God through it all.
Yeah, we definitely used to play church.
What?
We used to play
Got told not to.
we had to stop.
Oh, wow.
So we used to play church. And I just remember, even though I knew, as a child, that Mariah was different than, us, she did love Justin Timberlake. We all did. Honey, we was in love with Justin. We was in there performing, doing all types of stuff. NSYNC, we was in that thing.
Still love me some Justin Timberlake.
All right. All right. So, have you ever been, outside of Justin Timberlake, have you ever been attracted to males, or has it been strictly women?
Negative. Even Justin Timberlake, I would say, I sat and thought about this for a while at one point in my life, and I'm like, did I actually like him, or did I like his style like so much that I want to be like that or something? So I think that's honestly what it was. Maybe I was like, man, he looks good, I want to look good like that too, or something like that. But I don't think there was any attraction like I want Justin Timberlake to kiss me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Understood.
So there's a reason why I asked this question, but I'm gonna ask the question and then I'm gonna let you answer, and then I'm gonna give you the reason why I'm asking it. Have you ever been sexually assaulted by a male or female?
No.
No?
Never.
Okay. So the reason why I wanted to ask that question was because I know I've heard from multiple people where they would say, oh, it's because I was sexually assaulted by a man that I don't want to be with a man, I'm going to go to the woman. So that's why I wanted to ask you. And then vice versa, the opposite will,
Right. I'm glad that's clarified. I like that question because people do think that.
Yeah.
I think my own mother might have thought something happened, but no, mama. I'm just like this.
Like seriously, she's just been like this since we were kids, and we didn't know the name for it or what it was, but it was just when we played games, Mariah was always the dad or the husband, or like
And I didn't always ask for it.
yes, okay.
Why do you play Aladdin? Who plays Aladdin? Why did I have to be Aladdin?
Oh my goodness.
I could have been the carpet.
Oh, hey, that sounds like some fun memories.
We had some crazy moments growing up, but I love them for real.
Alright. Okay, so when did you first know that God was with you, and when did you begin your faith walk?
I knew God was with me as soon as I knew that I was gay. So probably before that, if I was looking to God right when I found that out. So yeah, I was pretty much a baby. What was the other question you asked me?
And when did you first start your faith
Oh,
walk?
my faith walk with God. Yep, right then and there. You know, when I found that out, of course I didn't know why. I used to like pray and be like, God, don't make me this way. I'm not saying I felt like it was wrong. I just
You were living
wanted to.
probably the other people that growing up hearing all the other people say certain things.
Right,
You
right.
were like,
I just knew it wasn't. I knew my sister wasn't, so that's why I immediately, started talking to God. Like, listen, whatever you need me to do, just make me do it.
Yeah,
Your will be done. I don't want it. So.
that's beautiful. I love that. So following, choosing to follow God and making that decision for yourself, how did you, what's your view on, or how did you battle with staying true to who you are and then being, against what society has put out there? Like, what was your mind frame on deciding, hey, I'm going to be me, regardless of what society is?
So one thing I always say to people, if they have been church hurt or just hurt by anyone, that people put words in God's mouth. So you always have to have a relationship with God yourself. It's not just go to church and get the pastor's viewpoint. He is there for guidance as well. So the reason I go to church is because when I read a scripture, maybe someone else is going to point things out that I kind of miss. I know that it's not a contradicting thing or a change in what I've read, but it's more so of, oh, I didn't see that at first, so that's the reason I go. But you definitely have to have a relationship with God yourself. That's the only way you're really going to hear from God. If you're not doing that, you're going to hear from the church, and then you'll be church hurt. I've been church hurt, and it could have been very easy for me to walk away from God as a whole if I didn't understand that, okay, this is actually not how God feels. And I'm not saying everything that people say is wrong, that they say to me, but if I read the Bible myself, which I do, I know a lot of it is untrue, or just the way that people approach situations with people like me. You can't go to a gay person and be like, you're going to hell, and expect for them to, now I love God, thank you for that. No, that's not going to happen.
Right.
You have to watch your approach, and some people have told me the approach doesn't matter. This is what God wants to know. The approach matters if you care about the soul. Do you care about my soul?
Right.
Or do you just hate gays, you hate trans, and you just want to speak on it and be a part of all of what society thinks and how they feel?
Wow. And that's very important. That's very important to know that the key root to anything with God is having your own personal relationship with Him. Because He's going to talk to you how He need to talk to you.
Right. And as far as society, I've never honestly cared what people thought. If someone was to see me and I'm sad about being gay or something, I'm really thinking about what God thinks of me.
Okay.
I do not care about what y'all think. I care about what
look at the camera being singing.
And that's just for the people who are like me. It's not to have some beef with straight people or whatever.
Exactly.
It's to help those people who are struggling with something internal. It's hard.
Yeah.
And we say that all sin is equal. It is.
Exactly.
But it's hard to think so as a human going through these things and being gay. It is not like you should stop cussing. Yeah, I'm gonna stop saying some cuss words this week. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
You're basically, I tell people, it's like my dad, that man is nowhere near gay. So if you tell my dad to go kiss a man, that's how I feel when you tell me to kiss a man. So it's very hard to just be like, okay, I'll change. No, love on me, pray for me. If you feel like I'm doing something wrong, you keep on praying. That's all you can do for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about discrimination. Like, when have you been discriminated? Where? Who? And like, what usually for?
Okay, the biggest thing, the one that I can think of right now, like I said, I haven't really, for being gay, felt like a direct discrimination, except for in Oklahoma at my church that I was going to. And I was very good friends with the pastors. We hung out outside of church, and for a long time I was on the church choir. So I actually started with them when they were doing this, they were redoing the church. So we were in a storage unit practicing with the choir. And I just walked up and someone handed me a mic. And I'm like, oh, I'm not even gonna be here for like the grand opening of the church. I was gonna be at Murray Hill Theater performing here in Jacksonville, Florida. So they were like, it's okay, just be on the choir. So months later, almost a year, I was kicked off the choir for being gay. So this made me very upset just because I didn't even ask to be on the choir. I was just trying to help. I wanted to, this was after COVID, so I wanted to be back in church rather than watch on TV. I just wanted to do anything for God. And actually I started going to this church. Another reason was because I was in college and I wanted to use it for my internship. I was just like, I really want to be in the church for my internship. So anywhere that they needed me is where I wanted to go to please God. I was just there to please God. So for that to happen, and it was the elders who wanted me off, and this wasn't the first time they brought it up. So I guess they had brought it up before, and the pastors tried to hold off. But these elders never had any conversation with me at all. I just found out they wanted me off the team. I eventually found out that they were asking other choir members how they felt about me being gay, which they were like, we don't care, like, so. But yeah, that hurt because I did so much blood, sweat, and tears for that church. It was times where I was at that church alone. I'm talking without the pastors, working at that church. And to be kicked off because of that, it is crazy to me because you're taking someone away from what they need. You feel like they need Jesus, but you're taking me away from them now.
It don't make sense.
So after that, I tried to, continue there. I took a long break off. And I went back. I was like, I'm gonna try. And I'm sitting in church and I'm just crying. I'm just crying because I just couldn't do it. I'm like, I won't be able to go back to this church. The entire church service, I had to read a scripture. I just kept on rereading it, and I couldn't even look at the pastor. I was just reading it just to like get through this sermon. Before it was done, like maybe a few minutes before it was done, I just went out. I didn't want anyone to talk to me or anything. So
that's why I don't get when we're taught, especially in church, that we're not supposed to judge. It's the church that's judging a person, and then you're gonna kick them out because of something that they're doing that's not hurting anyone.
Yes.
Like,
and I do want to clarify, and this is just how people look at me. I am not immature in my walk with God and my faith with God. So I do want people to know, because I already know that there are going to be those two holy folks that's going to correct us behind the camera. So to judge someone, you are able to judge someone who's in the group of believers. You are able to judge them. So people that not just go to church, they are members. They are, in the group of believers. You can judge those people. We are to hold them accountable. So I can judge the pastor if we find out he just been having sex with 5 different women, and then people DMs and he's married, okay? Yeah. We can judge him. As a believer, we are able to judge him. If I'm not a believer, I can't judge him, and I am not to judge people outside of the believer. So I'm not gonna go judge Lil Wayne. Yeah. He didn't say he's a believer, so I can't say anything to what standard am I holding Lil Wayne to? There is no standard to hold him to. Yeah. because he's not calling himself a Christian or a believer. I don't know what he's calling from. No offense to Lil Wayne. I'm just saying like that's how it works. So I'm not to judge someone out on the street if I'm not sure if they're even in the group of believers. So what I feel like is if the elders feel like they want to kick me out the church, clearly I'm not a real believer to them. So you cannot judge me then. Unless I'm a believer with you. If I'm in your little club, then you can, judge me. So that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So Mariah, thank you for going into detail about what's happening to you at the church and being church hurt. Is there a time that you've ever, and maybe even outside of all of this, have you ever felt misunderstood, and how does being misunderstood make you feel?
I always feel misunderstood, and I've come to realize I have to stop trying to make people understand me. Something outside of all this, actually, just being black. So I actually was at a Tesla charging station, and this person who doesn't have an electric vehicle pulls into one of the charging station spots, and they're like, they're not supposed to park there, we need to say something. It wasn't even me. I'm like, whatever. Yes, it irritates me, but I don't want to like cause a scene or anything. So we went, and this guy went into this hotel/restaurant, and Shelby is her name. Shelby says, she tells the person, this guy's parked here, blah, blah, blah. So we go back outside, and the guy walks out immediately, like tapping on my windshield. And my window's up. Shelby gets out the car. Shelby, who's white, and the guy is white. She's talking to him, telling him, it was me, you're not supposed to park here, blah, blah, blah. So I let this go on before I eventually roll my window down. And I'm like, sir, you're just not supposed to park there. Someone can be on their last leg trying to charge their car, and you're taking up this spot. So at a gas station, you wouldn't just go park your car at a pump, would you, and go eat? You wouldn't do that. That's what you're doing at a Tesla charging station. So this guy starts going off on me, and I'm like, she's the one over here yelling at you, but I guess it's because I'm black. And so I try to make people understand. I'll say some stupid stuff like, hey, I love Jesus. Like, you shouldn't be acting like this with me. Trying to like make them understand I am not the type of person you're looking just because you see my locks, my tats, my skin, I'm gay. Now I judge her. That girl Shelby, she's not gay because she's white and pretty. Like, I just try to make people understand, and I'll stop trying to do that. Like, who cares anymore?
Yeah, I'm learning myself to stop over-explaining myself to people, because they're going to take it however they're going to take it, and I can't do nothing about how you feel about me or what you think about me, because I know me, I know my honest self, and honestly, I'm still also learning to know my whole self as well. So you can't sit there and say who I am if I already don't even know who I am still to right now. So yeah, I definitely, I feel that, especially being a black woman, I'm sure we all have had that experience of just being looked at and seen in a certain light, and then grouped with other people. I've had an experience here at a restaurant. I wish I could think of the name right now. Not going back there. But I was basically prejudged because he had a bad experience with a group of other black women that went off saying the food was like nasty and was just being disrespectful with it. And I was just asking like questions, because that's just how the type of person I am. I like to ask questions and know things, and know what I'm eating, because I'm a big foodie. I like to cook as well, and they took offense to that. And after they had their moment of feeling attacked, even though I wasn't attacking, they then told me that they had a bad experience like a couple weeks ago with these women, and I was like, oh, that's what you did. You basically put me in the same shoes as those other black women, grouped me in with them, when that's not even what I was doing. I really wish I could think of his name. I might put, because I was like, man, I feel like nobody need to come here. None of us need to come here no more, because and it was really good food. That's why I was so upset, because the food was bomb. And I didn't like how I was treated, and I know it's not completely the same experiences, but we understand as black women how it can be
Prejudged.
Yes, prejudged.
So what's your favorite song that you have written so far? And what's your favorite song that you have performed?
That's really hard. Favorite song? I'm sorry to give this answer, but I don't have a favorite song that I've written because it just changes as you continuously write music. You always feel like, oh my gosh, this one's better. Like if you do an album and then you're on that third album, you're like, oh my gosh, this hit way harder than the other stuff.
Yeah.
So, but to perform, that I performed would probably have to be Blessings, because that was my very first song that I've written. That I let other people hear. You know, you write those songs when you're like in high school. You're like, this was stupid, and it wasn't the first song I've written, but it's the first song that actually came out. Yeah. So, but yeah, Blessings is a very important song for me. Like I said, I get very I'm sensitive. So when I listen to Blessings and Okay, which is my first two songs, I think about like my family listening. It just makes me cry because like they are seeing this other side of me. So yeah, I would have to say Blessings.
Yeah, you gotta be real vulnerable. I feel like artists, like you're really being vulnerable in yourself, your thoughts, your heart. You know? So it's very admirable and like to actually be good, like you are. You know, it's like another plus. You know. So who do you listen to musically right now? There are a few that you can.
KB. K to the second letter. That is my favorite artist. He is a Christian rapper. He likes to label himself as a Christian rapper, so that's okay. But KB is like another level. If you don't know who that is, you have got to go look him up. He has a clothing line as well. You really won't be disappointed. He just came out with another album as well. Me and Shauna will be going to the concert together, our KB concert. But yeah, KB is very he's just inspiring to look at. The way he performs and everything is just another level. And he is very, so he graduated, I think he went to college at like 15, 16.
Oh wow.
He's very smart.
Genius.
The way that he raps, yes, it's just not like basic words. This man uses big words and it's always about the Bible, and it always sounds different each song. It's not like he's talking about the same thing, you know, so it's really good. KB.
Mariah introduced me to KB, and my Pandora station is always either on KB now or it's on Lecrae, because she introduced me to them, and like I didn't even know that music could be like this. Yeah. Like you can rap and be talking about God, because honestly I don't even like to listen to a lot of the music that comes out today because it's real trash. My honest opinion, and I can say that because it's my opinion. But I'm not relating to a lot of the music that comes out now, and so I was missing that side of where I could relate to the music, and now I can. And now I'm starting to, make my own music and do my own thing, and it's just led me into this whole journey of things. So thank you, Mariah, for introducing me to KB and Lecrae and all the other artists that are out there, because, man.
And for those of you who want to check them out, KB, Lecrae, 1K Few, One Day, that is a female rapper. So many other people, Portia Love, like it's Spanish, English as well. It's a lot out there that you do not know about. Go listen. I promise it's not corny.
Rap,
it's not.
Rap, rock. I'm trying to go
the R&B. Sam Rivera, R&B. He's also on songs with KB, so.
It's good music. Like you can dance to it too. You still sometimes want to, sometimes have to catch myself. We just talking about that. You're like, oh wait a minute, oh Lord, not the twerk Jesus, can't do that. You know what I meant, guys. I'm just going to the beat. But yeah, so it's really good music, and I'm thankful that I was introduced to that by you, and it's definitely just like opened me up even more artistically, because I already knew that I was a writer. Been writing since we were kids. But I wanted to change like the narrative of what I was wanting to talk about, and that's when I'm happy that I've been able to do that.
So who have been some of your biggest influences musically and personally?
KB again, and personally. Honestly, when I look at him, I know that he's a man, I'm a woman. But just with being faithful to whatever, being faithful to God or believing in yourself, that man is very influential. So I would have to say him. And then, honestly, I don't know. I'm a person that maybe I have a big ego, I don't know, but I don't be looking up to people. Like I look up to Jesus. say I don't really look up to anyone, and I don't say that in a bad way. I can say my parents, I feel like my parents are strong. I feel like my mom's a very strong woman.
Hence the last name.
And I mean that in every way. That lady will work her life away, okay?
Yeah.
She needs to stop being so strong.
Yeah.
But those two, I do look up to them in different ways.
Yeah. Great parents, great people, individually and together, even in their crazy moments.
And they crazy.
Super nice people. I've been involved in your family, you know. I think I met your mom before I met you.
All right. So, Mariah, is there anything that you would change about yourself at all?
I don't want to say the cliche thing, be like, it's nothing to change about me. I'm trying to really like think what would I change. I would just have to say maybe like caring too much. And it goes with like being misunderstood, caring too much about what that police officer that pulled me over for no reason actually thinks about me. Like, I have to know that it's going to happen. Everything in the Bible has to happen. It's going to get bad before it gets better than what it is. And when I say better, I mean the end of this freaking world. But yeah, I would have to say just caring too much, or even I try to stop judging people while it's still in my thoughts and not put it out of my mouth. And I've always been like that. I can say that I'm very good with thinking before speaking, but I feel bad even when a thought comes up, like looking at somebody be like, why she do her hair like that? Like, who cares, you know? So I would like to stop that.
Yeah. Okay. I can relate to that with the caring too much. And I've always been told, you care too much, right? You care too much. And I'm like, I can't help the way that God made me. I'm a carer, I'm a lover, I'm a giver. And so sometimes being the too much, caring too much can put you in situations to where you can hurt yourself or even hurt someone else unintentionally. And so I definitely could say for myself, that's something I would like to, I guess, change or work on. Because when changing is only growing, it's nothing wrong with change. Nothing wrong with saying that there's something you need to change about yourself, because that's just you growing.
And every year I say that I'm going to work on that, like stop caring so much. And as you can see, Deshauna, my phone is on Do Not Disturb.
It sure is.
It's supposed to say like that all 2024.
Oh my gosh.
I just like, she gonna respond back when she feel like it. I get it. I would put mine on there, but
yes, it just be too much sometimes, you know. And I'm very used to helping people, and I'm not saying I don't want to help people, all of my friends, like. But at some point, you gotta help yourself first. I gotta be sane to be able to help you, to listen to, you know, your issues or whatever. So I'm trying to make sure I'm straight right now. So.
It can be draining and on top of everything, because you're already trying to work on yourself, and now you got something else that's pulling on you, like, hey, do this, I need this, I can't do it right now. I'm at this much percent left myself right now. And so then people just gotta learn not to, take that personally, because it's not always about whoever it is. It's about me right now. And that might sound selfish to you, but I'm gonna have to be selfish in this situation, because I got somebody, at least me, I have a child depending on me who needs me and be at a higher percentage. And so I relate to that and feel that.
Shout out to all my friends that still calling, even though I ain't picking it up. And liking my posts, looking at my Snapchats, even though I'm not talking to y'all. I don't know.
I feel special. Part of me, because I definitely see that thing that say that your
notification.
I was like, oh, okay. She'll get it when she get it.
Right. Are there any regrets you have about your past?
No. I don't think I have any regrets, because this is going to sound cliche, but it really is a lesson learned, you know. It makes you stronger, or it just is your advice itself when you go through these things. It's kind of, in a weird way, guidance to go in the right direction the next time.
Yeah.
So, no regrets there.
Yeah, you live and you learn. Right? Live and learn. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that we have somebody who can shed light on all different sides of their life. Like, I really appreciate you for letting me, opening up, because not everybody will be able to, do that. I have a relative that is gay or whatever, and I just couldn't imagine talking about it and just opening up. So I really appreciate you.
It's not easy to talk to, especially when society is telling you all the time it's bad.
I'm human. I'm just a person. I like what I like. You can't tell me I can't eat chicken. That's wrong. What's wrong with you? This is what I like. Okay? I can't control it. You cannot control it.
That's sometimes I kind of want to relate it to how am I going to say this? It's something that you are, and it's like someone asking you to stop being black. You can't stop being black.
Exactly.
It's just how you are. You came out the womb this way. You just, so I wanted to have you on here for that reason, and because I also have other relatives within the family who are gay or bisexual, whatever the case may be, and just growing up with them, I'm like, I didn't see any other sign other than, oh yeah, they gonna be gay. I already knew, even though I didn't know the word, I just knew, they were different than me. And because I have a cousin, I'm not gonna say the name, but you know who you are, and I love you, and don't.
Contrail. I'm just
But I had a cousin who would rock purses all the time, and I would see that, his siblings would. I think it's more because it's boys, all boys, siblings. So I think, being that he was the one that was, considered different, wearing the purses and things, his brothers would pick on him and stuff. But I don't think it was in a way to at least I hope not, but I don't think it was in a way to, make him feel bad. But just how siblings are type thing, because I know that they do love him and support him, even to this day. But just knowing that from a childhood, he's always been like this, rocking his purses and stuff, and now he gets his nails and stuff done, and eyebrows done. Nails and eyebrows be better than mine. And I'm just like, I don't understand how someone can sit there and say, you chose to be in this way, so you could choose to be with a woman or whatever the opposite sex is of the case. But I'm just like, I just growing up seeing that all the time, and living with it, with you, and understanding that you came out like this way, and how do you expect someone who's been like this their whole life to change overnight? It's not going to happen like that. It's not going to just snap your finger. It's going to take time if the person even wants to do that to begin with. So thank you. I'm so happy that we're having this conversation, that we're talking about these things, because I feel like it's very important. It needs to be talked about more, but in a way where it's respectful for both sides, because that's where the problem is. It's disrespect on that one side, because there's so much judgment on top of it that you don't even hear what that person is just trying to tell you.
I think the biggest thing with being gay or whatever you are is people will never, it's the podcast name, you will not understand unless you are gay. And I tell people all the time, I'm happy to tell you that I've never been like, oh, this boy getting on my nerves, I'm switching to girls. No, it's never been like that for me. I've always been girls. That's just what I'm attracted to. And for a long time, I lived my life no sex years. I'm just so focused on God. That's it. And so when people come at me in weird ways, or it just pisses me off. Okay,
you don't even know me.
Yeah, exactly. You do not know me at all to know. I go to my house, I write some music, I go work out, I go to church. That's my life. I'm not doing what you think I'm doing. Going to the club. Never been to gay pride. No offense to anyone who's been, but I've never been to it. It's never been a thing that I'm even interested in. And I'm not saying it's just because it's a bunch of gays and drags out there. It's just not my thing. And so, but people will look at me, and I feel like some people in this world look at gay people and they're like, oh, look at those demonic slithering snakes. They do so much weird stuff in the bedroom. No, it's the same stuff y'all do. It's the same stuff. Not to go into too much detail, but I feel like people ask those dumb questions. So what do you guys do? I'm about to ignore you.
Like,
I'm not going to answer that question. What do you do? The same thing, you know? So, but yes, for like so long, and honestly, the relationship that I'm in right now is, you know, getting hit hard just because of my relationship with God, trying to please God so much that I'm failing to please this person, you know? But God just will always come first for me, so.
I thought of one more question. Have you ever felt judged from the other side, like in the gay community? Like, have anybody ever, like, because you're not so involved or not so like, oh, you know, has anybody ever came at you like you not representing or you not, you know?
No, I feel like I can think of one time where somebody was asking me kind of questions around that, but no, I haven't felt judged or they didn't like, you know, pressure me into
a certain kind of way.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
good.
I think that everyone, literally anyone I've ever had a relationship with, friends, they'll say that you're just different. Like, and I don't mean that in a braggy way. They're just like, you're just not like other gay people that I've met or whatever. So I like, y'all will see me doing this. Like, I don't know, I like to have fun. Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're not in any box of what you're supposed to be in. That's
We've been doing characters so long that, like, since childhood, we just always had like a character that we would play or do and have these voices and things that we would do. Me, her, and her sister. That it's like that's just us. We just have these freaking crazy characters that will go through mid conversation, even if we're not even with each other. If I'm like with you or whoever, if I have something that like relates back to a childhood memory, that a character that we've done in the past, I will break it out on this person, and they'll be like, "What the hell?" But I'm like, "You don't even understand. Like, I just gotta get this out. It fit perfectly."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You be saying all this stuff, and I know your sister, so I'll be like, her? I won't say her name. I don't know who you are. I'm like, what? Her?
I think it's Alyssa. Me and Deshaun. Alyssa is another level of crazy.
Oh my God.
Girl is.
She's so like nice and cool. Like, I just remember her.
It's always those ones that look like the most innocent that be the worst. But no.
Craziest.
Good crazy though. But oh man, I had a question that or not a question, I wanted to say just for me personally. I have been judged from the other side, from gay, I think that's straight people too, from both gay and straight, where people sometimes would think that I was actually gay or that I liked women or whatever, when I just recognize that we are some beautiful women. Like, we are beautiful. Like, I love my black women especially. Like, I just be like, I can look at a woman, I'm gonna tell you you're beautiful. I'm gonna tell you that you're even the shape of you, I will say something, because when God set us up, he did this thing when he created us. When he created us, we are just beautiful, and I will say it, but it's not in a way of me like, you know, wanting to do anything sexually with you. But it's just me, one, and also I just want you to feel good too, because sometimes people just need to hear that. They don't know what's going on in their day, that whatever compliment you may give to them may make their day. And so I feel like people would, with me doing that, people would think that I was like that, and I'm not. I really love that other side. I wanted to say, I was gonna say something else, but I ain't gonna say that because we're gonna have to get a different rating. I don't know how that works, but yeah. So it definitely, we should just not be judging people. Like, as much as we can just try to hold off on doing that, because like, you don't know what's going on in that person's life. You don't know what their upbringing was. You don't know anything about the background for you to.
And it's always different when it's someone very close to you. Like, if you have a daughter or a son, and you know, you're like, oh, gay people, blah blah blah. Then your son comes and be like, I'm gay. What you gonna do? How are you gonna react? That's like, you know, what's his name? Dwayne Wade.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that, you know, that's different. They want to be trans, but still, I can't judge him. I am not in his household to know what he's going through with his children. You know, it's just not for me to say. I can have my own opinions in my head and keep them right there. Because at the end of the day, that's going to be God's decision, not mine. So.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing to remember. Like, who are you?
Who are you?
And I know a big thing is people, you know, being like, y'all are putting it on our kids, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's some people it is, but I don't give a darn what you do. Because I tell people, I actually had a best friend in the past, asked me to talk to their sister. And the sister, you know, she felt like she was gay. And she told me that she had liked me, and I was like, well, this is weird now. And she was younger, you know, than me. But I told her, and some people might not like this, but I said, listen, if you can be straight, just be straight. Because it's going to be harder for you to go out into the world and be gay, you know. And I'm not saying don't be yourself, but if you can be straight, like if I could wear female clothes, I'd probably just be straight and make it easier on myself. I really would. But I can't wear no darn dress. I'm not putting on a skirt. Like, it's not happening, you know. So, but I told her, so you won't hear me trying to put anything on anyone, especially a child. That, like, they want to play with a toy, not, you know, talk to people yet. So I'm not going to be trying to put pressure on them now. I know that I've seen weird videos with like drag queens reading books or whatever at schools. I don't get it, but I mean, this is just the world that we live in. I feel like I said it's going to get worse before it gets better, but just know that I'm not that type of person to put anything on anyone. There's so many people that are gay that are not that type to put it on anyone. They just want to live their life. So. Yeah.
I feel like if you can be influenced by the TV or whatever the case may be, music that's showing, you know, someone who's gay or trans, then honestly, that might just have been you to begin with. Because I mean, I'm looking at all this stuff, but that don't mean
it don't do nothing
to me. Like, okay, I don't get that. But I want to say I get both sides of the coin. But
yeah, especially with them being children.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I can see that because children can be influenced. I just don't like when we force things on a child and don't let a child be themselves, especially if we already seen the signs of them, you know, going to like the opposite or not, or saying, the same sex or whatever the case may be. Like for instance, with my son, he loves Toy Story. Loves Toy Story. Me too. we always watch a Toy Story growing up. But yeah, so he loves Toy Story. You know, it's like an array of characters throughout Toy Story. He has Barbie, the character in Toy Story, Barbie. He has her and he has Jessie. I thought his father was going to have a fit when he saw that I got these for him, but it was like he wants all of the characters. Right, yeah. He literally has all of the characters, and he wanted to have them because he wanted to have his own Toy Story playtime. Right. It has nothing to do with him wanting to be a girl or not liking girls or whatever the case may be, but like he's just wanting to have all of those characters.
His mind not even there.
He's not even thinking like that. So why are you forcing that on my baby? And I don't like that.
Yeah.
Let my baby be. Let him live. Like. So that is, and I'm not even trying to shade or knock his dad. So if you ever see this, please don't take this the hard way. Please, Lord, because it's already. But yeah. So I definitely can see how the world will try to force upon certain things onto a child, and it shouldn't be like that. Like, let the child grow up who they want to be and how they want to grow up. And that's why I was like, it's important to have Mariah on here, because Mariah grew up and she was allowed to be who she was, I would say from
your comfortability.
Kind of. I don't want to speak. I wasn't going to say like all the way, but they
like being a tomboy. And
you were a tomboy and you're playing sports. We played sports, and you were allowed to do all of that stuff. And but it wasn't like you gotta go or anything like that. It was just, they talk to you. I don't know. I don't tell your story, but I just, from the outside looking in, you were able to grow into yourself and who you are. And
I think it was different for me because I literally waited till senior year. I knew I was gay in kindergarten, and I told myself in kindergarten that I will wait till senior year to tell my parents in case they kick me out. That was just my thought. So and they didn't kick me out, of course, and I know to put myself in other people's shoes. So I did that with my parents. I'm like, okay, for them to hear that their child is gay, I can see why they might be upset. but I did want them to put themselves in my shoes. But again, I just said it out of my own mouth that you won't understand unless you are, so I can't expect them to completely understand that. But yeah, it wasn't great when I told my parents, but they love me and they've always loved me, and they are definitely very much, it's very different now. And I've always had a great childhood. It was just, dealing with that, especially that long, because I chose to hold it in. I just thought that would be better for me, but I don't wish it upon anyone to. I always say that I feel like people would want to kill themselves if they had my thought process, because I think so much. We all think a lot, but just and to overthink at that age in kindergarten, like, okay, what am I to do? I'll be a nun. God, over here, someone would commit suicide, seriously. And so I'm happy that it was me. Just like when I got kicked out of the church, I told the pastors I'm happy it was me, because someone else would have walked away from their faith. They might have went home and started cutting themselves or something, So I'm happy that I have a strong, crazy mind, but it's a strong mind.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I kind of forgot what I was gonna say when you were doing that. Dang. We'll just go ahead and go to the next question. All right. You kind of touched on it a little bit earlier when we were talking about when you got kicked out of the church, but is there anything that you would like to say to anybody from the church that kicked you out when y'all shouldn't have did that because y'all messed up?
I think they know how I feel. I got a lot of feedback when I was kicked off. I had so many phone calls and texts from people I didn't even know, telling me I was their favorite on the choir and all this. So I felt loved, honestly. So that itself says something.
Yeah. So Mariah, is there anything that you would like to say to anyone who may be struggling with whether like their sexual identity or sexual preference, and also their faith beliefs?
Love yourself, and if you do believe in God, if you are a believer, don't focus on trying not to be gay. Focus on God. Focus on pleasing God and being in the Word, just talking to Him. Don't be like, God, make me ungay. Just do what you feel He wants you to do, and all the rest will come.
He's gonna talk to you. Yeah. Well, thank you again, Mariah, for joining us here today. We had a great time, a great conversation. I just want to say that I really hope that this conversation helps someone out there who may be struggling with this. This wasn't to tell you what to do or say or tell you how to act or anything like that. It's just to open your mind and your heart as well, because one thing about it, God is love, and you're supposed to spread love. We all have our different purposes here in life, and we should respect that because we don't know what each other's purpose is. We shouldn't be so quick to judge anyone, as long as no one is hurting anybody. As long as you're not hurting someone, like either physically or even either killing someone. What does it matter who they have sex with? What does it matter who they love? Like that should not matter as long as they're not hurting themselves or hurting someone else. Because like I just said, God is love, and that's all that should really matter. So who are we to judge? Because we all sin. We all sin in different ways. All sins are equal. The only judgment that really matters is God and Jesus when we go before Him. That's the only one that we have to worry about judging us. That's the final say in all of this. So who cares what someone else, who cares what Bob thinks, Lord? I care about what God thinks about me, not Bob. So definitely appreciate you being here and telling your story, and we really hope that this helps someone out there, because I feel like it's something that needs to be said, because too many people out here are feeling misunderstood for this exact reason, and that's why I wanted to have this episode. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for all of this to come together.
Yes, me too. Mariah, would you like to give any of your social media platforms?
Instagram, Strong Faith Fashions. That's my biggest platform. And of course, Mariah Strong on other things like YouTube to watch my music videos and whatnot. Mariah Strong on Spotify, Apple, Pandora, whatever you listen on.
Well, I'm Serena, and you can follow me on Instagram at Rena Killingham, RenaKillingham. Killingham. Okay, so don't forget to follow us on our podcast page. That's MissUnderstood 904. Instagram at MissUnderstood 904.
And I'm Deshonna. You can follow me at Deshonna B on Instagram. That's DESHONNAB at Deshonna B. And then if you would like to follow any of my art, you can follow my page on Instagram at Sunflower Soul Studios. If you're into gardening and recipes, you can follow my Love and Ice page at Sugar Hill Garden 904. Once again, that's Sugar Hill Garden 904. All right.
And with that, we send you peace and love.
And please remember to stay soulful. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, performing her newest song, Work, my beautiful cousin, Mariah Strong.
Yeah, it's the MissUnderstood podcast. So if you ever felt misunderstood, I need y'all to rock me on this one. Yeah, let's go.
I had to switch up the flow and put away my ego. On the board like tic-tac-toe, now you can't find me like Nemo. I was everywhere across the globe, battery low, Tesla can't go no more. I was just hitting the road, all on my own, I need a good cup of joe. Let me get back to it, I was in the room putting my mind to it. Up all night, ain't nobody else gon' do it. Making clothes while in college and making music. If you love making beats, you know I'ma use it. Moved to South Carolina, still work with Future. Hit up Scholar Kid Visual, she go stupid. Work on graphics for KB, now I'm regrouping. It's a lot of work, yes, sight unseen. Walk by faith if you know what I mean. Walk up in the church so fresh, so clean, but them two holy folk keep staring at me. I'ma never turn away from God, no. But people say trying to make a problem. I'ma really beat all your odds, though, cause I work too hard, it's a job, bro. I work, you know I work. That's right, I work. This is hard work. Over here we work. That's right, I work. This is hard work. That's right, I work. Too deep in my bag, I ain't talking cash, hold up, let me brag, I never do. I'm trying to unpack these blessings I have, while some looking mad tell me something new. Absurd, I'm just really in it for the joy and the long haul. Never fall, always up and down to really have a ball. Don't call if you be with the bull, I don't like to stall, my fault. I ain't got the time for the small talk. You see it, if you don't then you better believe it. Every season that's coming my season. Yeah, it's mine if God still got me breathing. Devil try, man, I know that he heated. Demons try, but they been got defeated. Haters talk, but I know that it's cheapin'. I got blessings without even sneezing. You a fool and in April. Yeah, thinking this ain't my year. You be all cap, telling them fables. Yeah, I can see through you so clear. Get off my bag, why you so mad? I ain't even asked what you think. If you don't like what I'm doing, then you keep it moving, but I'ma just stay in sync. Yeah, I'm here and I never left. I can't hear all that bad, I'm like so deaf. I just swear y'all stay mad, it get me depressed. I wake up and choose peace, you get at a rest. Please stay out of my lane, I don't do the left. I just like to go slow, that's when I'm my best. I let go of my ego, was such a mess. I let God take the wheel, say that with my chest.